How can fandom be toxic? It's about love.
In 2022, Scream came back after another 11-year hiatus. Not as Scream 5, just Scream. Which tells you where their heads were at when they made this movie. This wasn't just another sequel, it was a requel.
Oh my god, he's making a requel.
A what?
A requel. Oh, it's funny, because I had just never heard of that term before I watched this movie. Maybe I wasn't terminally online enough at that time, or maybe it was Hollywood insider lingo. But either way, it was new to me. It's basically a legacy continuation designed to honor the original while introducing a new generation. A movie about toxic fandom made for people who are already terminally online.
You go on 4chan and Reddit. All they're talking about is how Stab 8 pissed on their childhoods, how they crammed in social commentary just to make it elevated.
And it works, I think. It's sharp, it's funny, it's brutal, and it understands the franchise culture. I like the new cast. I like Jenna Ortega, Melissa Barrera, Jack Quaid. But there's one creative choice in this movie that really bothers me, and it bleeds into Scream 6, Ghost Billy. Now, obviously, he's not a real ghost, but that's what I'm going to refer to him as. And I think if you remove him, but not necessarily his relationship to Sam, just the hallucination version of him, then Scream 5 becomes stronger, cleaner, and more emotionally grounded. Let's get into this thing. In 2022, it had been 11 years since we saw another Scream movie, similar to the gap between Scream 4 and 3. Legacy sequels were everywhere, they still are. Halloween 2018 rewrote the Halloween continuity, again, and nostalgia had become mandatory. Directors Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette stepped into an impossible position. Continue Wes Craven's famous franchise without Wes Craven. And to their credit, I think, for the most part, they understood the assignment.
Rule number 1, never trust the love interest. They seem sweet, caring, supportive, and then welcome to Act 3 where they're trying to rip your head off.
Scream 5 is about toxic fandoms. It's about fan entitlement. It's about fans who believe they understand the franchise better than the people making it.
They just laugh at us. And why? Because we love something? We're just a fucking joke to them?
Kind of feels ironic making this video, doesn't it? But hey, that's what we're here for. One of the biggest strengths of Scream 5 is the new ensemble cast. Sam Carpenter is messy and unstable and morally ambiguous, which I'll give you is very interesting for a lead character. She's not a Sydney 2.0, she's not, a clean final girl type character. Tara is played by Jenna Ortega, who is just beloved by the horror community. And then there's Richie played by Jack Quaid, and this was actually the first thing I saw him in. I didn't see The Boys when I watched this. Richie is charming, funny, and annoying at the same time. He is nerdy, and he embodies the exact thing the film is critiquing. His motive works because it feels possible in this world we live in of Reddit threads and YouTube crashouts. So on paper, Sam being Billy Loomis's daughter feels like fan fiction to me. Thematically, it tracks, it's fine. A little schlock like this always adds to the meta humor of Scream. And Scream has always been about legacy, passed down trauma, violence echoing through generations. What's interesting is you don't know if she is actually one of the killers throughout this movie. You think she could be crazy enough and we're not seeing enough that she's one of the murderers. And I think all of that can work really well, if not for the really frustrating hallucinations of her dead father. Not only do I not want to see hallucinations like this if she's actually having them, maybe a voice would be okay. The way they present him is clearly so that we will recognize him, you know what I mean? The viewer of this movie, which I guess is kind of meta. But what's ridiculous is he's wearing, the white t-shirt from the ending of the original Scream movie. He's all bloodied up like that. They're portraying him as like, frozen in time from then. But he's like, not that. He's 25 years older. I don't know, for me, that is one thing in this movie that every time I watch it, it brings it down just a little bit, you know what I mean? Because otherwise, I think this is one of the better sequels. But I find it so silly. Here's how I would fix it, and this isn't to say that I think they should have done it this way, because, listen, who am I? Just a guy with a YouTube channel. But here's the important part. You don't remove the Billy Loomis relationship with Sam. You remove the hallucinations. And when I say this, you could do this one of two ways. You keep her medication subplot, you let her fear of her own violence come through in her performance. You could even hint at something that she did before where she almost killed someone. I just find it so ridiculous that he comes in at the end and is like, yeah, pick up the knife. It's gonna be sick, bro. Stab the shit out of him. What's interesting is this is the first character we see, like, really full on just go crazy and defend themselves. Like, I'm sorry, if I'm in one of these movies and situations, it ain't gonna take me much to turn into Sam, you know what I mean here? I don't know, maybe that says more about me, but like, there's a lot of hesitation in fucking up Ghostface by our characters in every film. But her killing him this way, I thought was a little ridiculous at first, but it is kind of realistic. You would hope that someone would react this way. It seems more human, to be honest.
What about my ending?
Here it comes.
But I genuinely think you take this one element out of this movie, or even adjust it. If you want to keep the hallucination in there, just don't show it to me. Or do something like the Val Kilmer scenes in True Romance. You know, something. But this was just too goofy for me. That all said, Scream 5 still succeeds regardless of how I feel about shitty Ghost Billy. The hospital sequence is pretty incredible, although I am bummed out that Dewey's dead, right? I think we all were at the time. It does make it a little more realistic. The talk about reboots and recools and elevated horror, there was, it had been 11 years since another Scream movie had come out, and I've said that like 4 times in this video, but the point being that there had been enough shifts in horror that the films had something to say, and that's why I like Scream 5 so much, because it commentated on that very well. Richie and Sam both work because the movie understands exactly who this guy represents, and then you kind of just want to keep following Sam. It's not a cynical sequel. It's made by people who genuinely love the Scream franchise, that much is obvious. In closing, I will say this obviously seems like a massive critique of Scream 5, but I do really enjoy the movie. I enjoy the characters that were introduced. The film has done nothing but grow on me more and more. There may come a day where I think, Ghost Billy. Not a bad idea. But today is not that day. Quick thank you to my channel members and Patreon subscribers. If you want more Ectoviolence, including exclusive videos and behind-the-scenes content, become a member by clicking the links in the description below.